All right, we're back. We're getting ready to go back on live. We have Stan Hannell, Matt Walker, we have Nat Hodgson, and we have Paul over here getting ready to go live.
And we're back with Shades of Green on KDWN. I'm your host, Paul Iro. We've got Nat Hodgson and Matt Walker with Southern Nevada Home Builders Association. Nat, before the break, we were talking about solar in homes, and I know there's some specific products and technology advancements in the way we're building homes. Talk to us a little bit about some of the specific things that incorporate solar into the home.
Well, two things that really stick out is when you talk about your roofing material. Again, the roofing material, there's one where there's like a shingle looking product that actually snap together, and they produce power on your roof, and it's a snap together pretty much so. And then you have the window glazing, which it looks like a normal window, but it's actually producing power. And I think as the years go on, you'll be driving by houses and you won't even be able to recognize at all the difference. And as we were talking about the break too, these panels or these shingle looking tiles on your roof will actually be able to move to face the sun more throughout the day and be more efficient and provide more power.
So actual sun tracking solar panels built in an array as you snap the shingles together.
Yeah, and if you think about it, I know it's a little off topic, but you have the rain gauges for your sprinkler systems that measure, if there's any rain, it meters how much your sprinklers come on. Pretty much the same type of technology.
Yeah, we talked about that last week and the focus on water. Excellent, excellent. How about sustainable construction materials? Are we considering that more and more now? For example, I know that bamboo is a very sustainable material. So when you're putting in flooring, instead of using cherry or oak, you might use bamboo because it's very sustainable. Talk to us about building products.
I'll give you a good topside answer because it's a big general question, and of course it's all going to come down to the price and value of what the consumer wants to have. If someone's building a custom home or we have a high-end builder, you're more apt to see that product than you would in, say, an entry-level move-up house. Because it's always going to come to affordability, but you also have to look. That's why energy efficiency is a little bit more to show a consumer, because you can show them, it might be costing X more, but here's what you're going to save per month. So after the first 3 years, you're actually saving money, period. The sustainable products, again, are being looked at, and as more people use it, the pricing comes down. So I think as years go on, just like anything else, I think you'll see it being used more and more.
And I think both because of the labor market, but also because of the continued innovation in this space, people will be continuing to look to SIPS panels, panelized walls, certainly basement walls, roof panels that are far exceed something that's going to be assembled on site in terms of the efficiency rating. As the labor market continues to tighten and as the panels become more and more cost effective, I think that the market will continue to look and see where that makes sense in the new building of residential homes.
Well, I have a friend who manufactures SIP panels or structurally integrated panels. The fire rating requirement was 1 hour of fire rating on that, and an hour and a half in, they popped a bottle of champagne that was still holding the fire out. And the R value on that was in very high 20s. And you lose most of your heat through your roof and ceilings, but it's good to have well-insulated walls as well. They're fun to build with. They come in all different sizes. Like you said, as labor gets tighter and tighter, they'll use them more and more. The ones he had were basically 4x8 panels that snap together, and you just cut a hole in them, pop a window in, and you could basically redesign your house right on the spot. So structurally integrated panels will be something that will come to the forefront in the future. That's good stuff. Tell us a little bit about current and projected market conditions.
That's a little question there. Well, current conditions are our market here is healthy. It's going in the right direction. I would not use the word robust, but between resales and new homes, we saw growth last year, but minor growth, and we're speculating small growth. Again, just to say the word growth, to me is a huge positive. I think I like the slow growth we're on, but it's slow growth. But again, the word growth, being able to just say that is a very positive word. And I like going in that direction more so than the other direction.
What are the labor issues? kind of problems?
You know, first of all, it's nationwide. I mean, the good news is there's plenty of jobs out there. Bad news is there's a tough time filling those jobs. And it's not just here, it's not just in our neighboring states, it's across the United States. I know that as an association, we're actually trying to work with some schools here and some programs to try to get, we're missing a few generations of construction workers, to get that next generation of construction workers into the workforce in the residential home building. So we just actually really roll up our sleeves to get involved in that, because if we don't start now, we'll never be able to fill this big gap. And again, I mean, it's a pretty big gap. We can pretty much put a lot of the high school kids graduating to work if we had some programs there.
That surprises me that we're having trouble finding people to fill jobs. Amazing. Anyway, so how about the way they build homes? What are the codes? Are there changes in codes? Are we updating construction codes to reflect our desires and needs for more sustainable and energy efficient homes?
You had to add that last part. We change codes a lot. So much as the ink's usually not dry before the next one's written. But I know that our building officials here have recognized that as well, and we're going to take a step back and try to get caught up on the code that we're on now and look at the new future code. I would say the one, I mean, obviously the structural ones, those change with issues that have happened in the past. With the energy code, which is one that we're very close to, you know, it has evolved, and if you just look at the last two code cycles, it's pretty much off the chart compared to its predecessor, where before it'd be very little incremental changes. The one thing we always keep our eye on now is when something's written down black and white and they give you strict parameters. With technology and the way it changes today, you don't want to be restricted to be able to go use the most innovative product or technology that's on the market today.
I think one of the big sea changes that's taking place as they formulate the 2018 energy code is recognizing that there's got to be a pathway to zero. I think that we all know whether it's 10 years from now or 25 years from now that the code requirements will mandate a net zero home. But obviously you can't get there just with the mechanical components and insulation alone. It's going to take an overall design effort and elements like energy storage and on-site energy production. And so that's a big push for us as a home building community, is make sure that you use a science-based approach with integrity, with neutral third parties verifying those components, but then to Nat's point, open the book and set your target at where you want to be in terms of efficiency, but allow for new innovation and allow for on-site generation and some other innovative components, and not just your traditional early 2000s insulation windows and mechanical components.
Is there a specific code requirement, for example, that you can mention that shows the direction the codes are taking?
Well, I think if you look at the I believe it's the 2018 IECC, they're actually having a ERI type goal setting there, because they're recognizing, hey, you know what, this is the target we want. You get there how you see fit. You know, maybe some minimum criteria, but that's the way it has to go. As Matt pointed out, you can only do so much with the shell of the house and the mechanical systems of the house, and and that's just over about halfway to net zero, and then you're kind of stuck there. If you had a 12-foot thick wall, your return on investment will be centuries. So we're kind of at that tipping point now, and because of the way we build our houses here in southern Nevada, we actually lead the way, and we're proud of doing that in the nation. So that's why we're trying to look at the innovation now and how to get to the next step.
And the 2015 code would require a home to be about use about half as much energy as a 2004 code built home. And you certainly see that moving the needle where today our average home in southern Nevada is using half the energy as the existing home nationwide.
Let's talk about that some more when we come back, and we'll go listen to our sponsors for a minute. We'll be right back to Shades of Green.
You're right, that second segment was a lot quicker.